And we are live. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to episode 16 and a half of The Good, the Dan, the Florida Man. Today we will be doing our once a month, our monthly audience submission question and answer thing. We should probably come up with a name for that. But not today.
Audience time.
Audience time. Yeah, sure, buddy.
That one.
No, that's immediately out.
Man, but what about my 10,000 hours of improv? Did that not help?
Not really, no.
Ah, rat.
Okay, so basically what this is that during the month, during our regularly scheduled episodes, we only answer 10 audience submission questions per episode. So this is the one that we are going to do where we answer all of the questions that we missed this whole month by the episode that they would have been on otherwise.
Sweet.
So without further ado, let's jump in. These are the questions that we did not get to on episode 13.
Dan, kick us off?
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Hey Ryan, this is for you. I currently work for the company, the one with the mouse, and I would love to talk about some of my stories and the roles I've had. How can I go about this without getting into legal trouble? Keep up the great work.
Oh, I'll be totally honest. Every time I told a Disney story, I could like hear a shotgun cocking in the back. Like, I mean, here's a happy, wholesome. Oh my gosh. I had a friend in legal that was actually defending me the whole time, is what helped a lot. She is what solidified me using I don't speak for the brand or the company. That does help. It does keep you out of that. Be careful. Disney is very, very intense when it comes to things. And that's also why all my stories were happy. Do I have negative Disney stories? Oh my gosh, of course. But like, I don't tell any of them. Also because that's not.
Because you can't afford a lawyer that's good enough.
That's true. Yeah. Well, and there's the thing. At a certain point, they'd just hire enough lawyers that it wouldn't matter if I was in the right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So if you want to keep your job, just tell happy stories and lead with I don't speak for the brand or the company. If you don't, knock it out. But it's going to come to an end.
And I know you didn't ask me because Ryan specifically is the one that deals with the Disney stuff, but I've actually had to do this with the Army. I posted a video making fun of the Army Reserve that got sent up to basically the 3-star commanding general of the entire Army Reserve, and that shit rolled downhill, my friend. And I am at the bottom of the hill. And basically what it turned out to be was that the Army, look over your contracts in detail.
Yeah.
The Army can't outright tell me what I can and cannot post on my personal page or whatever. But they can just ask me to take it down. And if, I took it down the first time, then they would have just been like, then they were cool. Yep, whatever. You're fine. Please don't post anything in uniform and don't say that you're in the Army when you do. So as long as you're not doing it in uniform and you're not claiming that you work for Disney while it's happening, then you actually have plausible deniability of like, this is just a thing I made up. They can't prove that you didn't make it up.
Yeah.
I almost got fired in uniform too. Yeah. Security uniform by the church. That's probably a story time, but
absolutely it is. Oh man. Yeah. All right, next one. This is from Jordan L again. Ben, this question is for you. I'm thinking of going into the Coast Guard or Navy as an officer. What is something that bothered you while you were in as an enlisted soldier that the brass did? Thank you for your time. I don't know if I have anything other than what I literally just brought up about the brass being upset about a joke I posted. But it was not really. It was never really the brass that upset me. They're gonna do a lot of like little things that are inconvenient and will bother you, but none of them are going to be big. The thing that I would say about it that bothered me the most just about the military at all is that I have lost 6 friends and none of them to combat. So if you're still thinking about doing it, try to find a different way to live your life without joining, because oh god, the military is awful, dude. It's not like a good place. And you think like, oh, you get dragged in because people say things like, oh, you get free college. Nah, fam. You have to pay for college with a blank check worth up to and including your life. The least amounts that you're paying for free college is literally 4 years of servitude.
Wow.
You're not getting free anything. It's not. You're gonna meet a lot of very fun people, and they're gonna be friends with you for the rest of your life. But it's a lot more con than pro.
Yeah.
Sorry to get so disappointing that fast.
You will be in an inescapable contract, one with which you will never be able to.
as being friends with narrator, who was also in like he had some funny stories, but he's like, I would never go back. Like, so
absolutely not.
Neil A, first off, I love the podcast. Thanks for being here. It's the best part of my Saturday every week. To Ryan, can you start, or have I been missing a TikTok series about ridiculous history? I have started one. People either love it or they think I'm horrible, because I do stories about like I do different sides of people. It's called Mystery History, where it's like, who's that historical figure? We use the Pokemon thing. Makes me happy. But the first one was Hitler, and people were like, are you trying to be on the side of Hitler? And I was like, Jewish, really not on the side of Hitler.
Yeah.
So what kind of facts were you giving?
The fact that he was like, oh my gosh, I got a mad email because they were like, he wasn't vegetarian, and then they cited only PETA. And it's like, yeah, PETA lies about everything. It is the worst. You know what I cited? Yeah. History journals, Goebbels' diaries. Like, I don't. People are so stupid. I've gotten like, it's been a rush of stupid DMs recently where I'm just like, oh my god.
Also, you would think that PETA would be on the side no matter what, if anything. like
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they have to just associate with with like.
Of course they have to, but it's just weird. Yeah. I don't know who's repping Hitler. It's like, also Hitler was a vegetarian. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Also, so I do that. If you want to check it out, I also do a series on YouTube that's called Yesterday Today, which is Crazy Things Yesterday that we retell today. Dude, I'm probably going to do an episode on the fact that there were like 7 serial killers active in Germany in 1919. There was 2 butchers that sold people meat and ate people, 2 cannibals. There was a vampire, a werewolf, the Sandman, and then just a shooter and some other dude. It's insanity. And they all operated in the same time period. Like, it's insane.
What?
And I was
Sweeney Todd. Wow.
Yeah. Except like every third person is Sweeney Todd. It's crazy.
Germany, no wonder they went to like war with the world, right? Like,
yeah. They were trying to get out of Germany. Like, I mean,
that was like a roundabout solution to get rid of everyone. They're like, we should go to war so that the butchers can be killed.
Yeah. So we can find out who's still doing this.
I don't know. Weird.
Also, can you guys get Hank Green on the podcast? Would love it if you guys spend some time just bouncing some sciencey questions off him, including is the ocean soup.
Okay, first of all, it's not. Second of all, we can try.
We're mutuals. I think, or a couple of us are all mutuals with Frank Green.
I'm mutuals with Hank. Frank Green.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know. I don't know what I said.
Frank
Hank Green.
Ocean Blue.
Hank is super nice. I'd probably want the podcast to get bigger before we invited him on. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Yeah, because he's
apparently this is like has nothing to do with the question, but somebody commented on one of my videos a little bit ago and was like, "Hey, I found you because of Vlogbrothers," and Vlogbrothers is the thing that he does. It's him and John. They have like a 5-minute thing, 5-minute YouTube episodes, and someone was like, "I found you because of Vlogbrothers," and I was like, what? How? I don't understand. At the time, I didn't even know what Vlogbrothers was, but apparently they've mentioned me at some point. Maybe, so awesome. I guess. So I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything. But yeah, I would love to have Hank Green on.
He'd be so cool. He's such a nice guy. He's just like, he's so cool. I just like Hank a lot.
Former Floridian.
Oh, yeah. Now Montananite.
Did you see that? Is the ocean soup?
It's not.
Okay, good.
It's not. Please, cool. No. We're not doing this again. The ocean is not soup.
Anyway, Dan.
Oak I says, hey, I just wanted to say I love your podcast. When I watch this, I feel so happy. I also wanted to say that I am gender fluid, biromantic, asexual, and I decided to go by a different name. But I am in the closet to my family because they are all homophobic. I don't know what to do about it. So if you have any advice on what I should do, I would really appreciate it. In terms of advice, I don't know. I'd say be safe.
Yeah.
That's my first bit of advice. You understand your family a bit more than we do. So I can't tell you exactly what to do in that situation because you kind of have to play it by ear. Everyone has different circumstances and you understand that best. The second bit of advice, though, is keep being yourself, right? Like if you feel strongly that you need to tell them and you feel like it is a safe place to tell or a safe time to tell them, I'd go ahead with it, right? Like I think they might shock you a little bit. I feel like the world is becoming a little bit more accepting. Or, you know, that's just my personal feelings. Is a lot of people are becoming more
Historically
accepting. And if your family
Yeah,
isn't going to be accepting, your friends certainly will be. So
Yes.
be out to your friends, be out to the people that support you, and just know that those people will probably be more family than if your families are douchebags.
Yeah.
So
if you are going to come out to your family, I would take all those things and I would define them for them, to be completely honest. Like,
Yes.
because I think putting like biromantic and asexual together, that's back to where we're like at bisexual and are ace at the same time. Like, it can be confusing for people.
Right.
So, like, have some definitions and explain how they work together.
Yes.
Because I feel like we've gotten so. Here's the thing. I would hope that no matter what you are or what you decide that you identify as, that you are comfortable and happy in yourself.
Yes.
But I think that we have gotten into a place where we label things way too hard. Like we are just, we kind of, it's like it's Pokemon. We got to like collect them all. And in that case, sometimes it's going to make it confusing for people on the outside. And so that might be that they're confused, not necessarily against. And so hopefully they would be accepting and loving. And to be honest, yeah, I would say, if you think people are homophobic about it, they don't need to know. You know what I mean? Like they don't deserve to know the true version of you if you don't think that they are going to be able to handle it. And I think that you just deserve to be loved.
I have two thoughts about this. Well, three, because I feel like I should preface this with nice things. So first of all, thank you for feeling comfortable enough with us to let us know what you're going through.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. Two, the full saying is that the blood of brotherhood is thicker than the water of the womb. And that your friends are more important than your family. Your brotherhood, the people that you find along the way, are more important than your family, and that's important to know. And three, as somebody who has given ultimatums to family members, you must be committed to that second choice of, hey, I'm coming out to my family. If they don't accept me, I know what I'm going to be doing in that event. I moved out at 16 because I gave an ultimatum and it was denied. And I moved back in, gave another ultimatum, moved out again at like 17. It's not like fun or easy by any means, but like I always had friends there to support me and make sure that I was cool and happy and whatever I needed. So get yourself a backup plan and start investing a lot more in your friends than you do your family, especially if you know that they're not going to accept you for who you are.
I totally thought you were going to say start investing in Bitcoin. I don't know.
Or that, yeah.
It was so dumb in my head, but I was just like, and start investing in Bitcoin, like, so that you can move out.
It wouldn't hurt.
Ethereum or Doge at the least, right?
Yeah. To the moon. All right, this next one is from Belle D. Hi, Ryan, Dan, and Ben. First off, just wanted to say I absolutely love the podcast. Always makes me laugh and really cheers me up when I'm having a rough day. My question for you guys is, if you could live in any movie universe, i.e. MCU, DCEU, Wizarding World, etc., which one would you choose? I think we've answered something similar to this a few times.
Yeah.
Pokemon, easily. Pokemon's got movies, and here's the thing. In the MCU and DCEU, I'm schlub on the street that gets killed when Superman puts a building through something. Like, it's not going to go well. Wizarding World, I'm a muggle. Like, I'm aware. Like, and so, Pokemon trainer, though, I can throw a ball. I'm great at that. Like, it's going to be fine. They even look like baseballs. I played baseball. We're good.
Okay.
I would have to go. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be an MCU or DCU just because. Yeah, same reason. I feel like I'd just be the civilian in this situation. I'd agree. Yeah, I'd say Pokemon is probably the best. It's probably the best universe just because you have control over how much power and strength or whatever you need to survive in that world is, right? Like you have the freedom to walk around and be who you want to be without having to be like, oh, I'm defined by this characteristic. Also, we don't support J.K. Rowling in this house, so
So
I think
okay,
Dan's got a good point. Equal opportunity to be able to be part of the cool part that makes that universe
Exactly.
different.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Anyway, Ben, you were saying?
I feel like if I were to be in the MCU, DCEU Wizarding World, I absolutely would be. I would have powers. Because it just wouldn't. Like for me to go, I'd either be like Syndrome from The Incredibles, where I don't have any powers, but like I build powers. Like I would, in some way, shape, or form, I would have powers, just because I would be so annoyed to not have powers that I would do it. I would get powers out of spite. With that being said, though, on the off chance that I don't get powers or that I don't have the motivation to attain the powers, and I don't want to say Pokemon again, I will give you the options of. I was gonna say Digimon, absolutely Digimon, or Naruto. Because everybody has Tai Chi and chakra and all that. So even if you aren't a quote unquote ninja, you still can learn the ninja traits.
Yeah.
And all that.
Love that.
I think it's awesome.
I love that Naruto is featuring in general.
From Jacob K, we got, hey guys, my silly question is, if you were to start a cult, I already have an answer to this one. What would be the belief that you push to gain followers? I love the podcast. I love you all. I look forward to listening to the show every week. First off, Jacob, thanks for being here. Wow, I got blurry. It's like,
yeah, you did.
The NSA was like, hey, he's starting a cult. Get him.
He has ideas.
So here's my thought on it.
You're just gonna let that happen? You're just gonna grab a thing and put it on your forehead and just continue answering the question?
And it worked. It worked.
All right.
I'm in focus.
All right. Okay.
Tell me
Sure.
But so here's what I do. I've actually talked about this live on stream, like on Twitch, is that I would get a cult it's still the happy, wholesome cult. Like you're just joyous. And every Sunday it's made for after church or after any sort of religious service, whether you go to temple, mosque, whatever, don't care. We just take over a sky zone. And everything's just like padded and fun, and you get to jump around, and there's snacks. It's essentially a 7th grade boy's birthday party every Sunday, and we just come and we hang out and we kick it, and everyone loves everyone. It's just super nice. There's arts and crafts tables. There's dodgeball. That's my. It's just fun. That's what I want. I miss 7th grade birthday parties. That's what I miss.
Ryan, do you want to go to Sky Zone when I visit again?
Yes.
Okay.
So good.
Okay. Well, we can go. We can go.
Oh, hey, what if the podcast? What if we all go in Fargo, North Dakota? Do you think they got a Sky Zone?
I bet they do.
I don't even know what Sky Zone is.
It's just a trampoline place. There's trampolines everywhere. They usually the good ones have like a wipeout kind of course in there.
Yeah,
and so
much fun.
we can we can test that.
Dan, can you talk to the wipeout people? Because we should definitely.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah,
I've gotten DMs that are like, you guys need to do Wipeout, mostly because I'm tall and gangly, so when I get hit by things, it's hilarious.
Yeah, this is what we're going to do. Remind me to text Dan about Wipeout in an hour and a half. Got it.
All right.
I probably needed to.
What about you guys? Cult options?
I'm still developing the phrasing in my head.
Yeah, like what would be the belief that I push? I'd probably say like, I don't know. I feel like my cult would just be that of like Bob's Burgers. Like watch that a lot, right? Like adopt everything that's Bob's Burgers-y and like become Tina and Linda. Like I don't know. Like that would just be me. I'm too lazy to develop an original thought, so I would just give it to someone else. Like I'd just be like, Linda is our savior. Bob is Satan. I don't know. Stuff like that would be.
Oh my god.
That would be my cult.
Okay. Okay.
Ben, have you come up with the phrasing yet?
I think I'm there. At least I can traipse through this while I'm saying it, but it'd be along the lines of the brain is a powerful thing. Nothing in this world is real unless you believe it's real. Gravity, non-existent. If you think you can, and you actually believe it, you can.
I mean, that is very culty.
Welcome to the cult of the Florida Man. Whatever you believe, if you believe it hard enough, it is.
You realize that that's actually what people are doing today, and
that's
it makes
cult tactic. Yeah.
that is a cult tactic. Like that's the degrees. But also, like that's just genuinely what people are doing today, and it makes me want to punch myself in the face.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, especially from a comedy perspective, where it's like, you said this, I said nothing like that. It's literally like I could have people think that I'm against amputees because I'm lactose intolerant. You know what I mean? Like that's what.
Okay, you're mistaking what I'm saying. It's not whatever you believe to be is. It's not like I believe this person said this and therefore he did. It's like I believe I can just do a mountain of cocaine and run across the English Channel. Yes, you can.
Actually, that
Yes,
sounds
you
very
can.
Florida man. That's
Yes.
And if you don't make it, guess who didn't believe?
guess what's not now
Guess who didn't
classified as a
believe?
mountain. You know? No,
Yeah, I
that's
guess
only
something
a
went
small
wrong.
hill.
Or you make it, or you make it if you die while doing something that you love, then you go immediately to heaven.
No, I don't care about that.
It has to be a cult. You have to.
Yeah,
have
this is
some
my
sort of
cult. Do.
salvation.
Do. Yeah, I'm saving you from the boring nuance of everyday life. Dan, do you want to be a sheep or do you want to be free?
I want to be free.
By the way, this
I want
reminds
to
me
join the
we're doing a ridiculous
Brainard
history.
cult.
We're doing a ridiculous history on something called the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult. Like it's based on like this guy that was like a spinoff of the Black Hebrew Israelites. It's
Okay.
wild. It is.
Okay.
His name was Hunan Mitchell Jr. and he then went by Yahweh Ben Yahweh, which should tell you everything about how
God
this
ben
goes.
God.
But God Ben God. Anyway. Oh.
Cool. Victoria H says, "Hi guys, it's Victoria again. I just wanted to say thank you for answering my questions, and I wanted to apologize for how my second question was worded. When I asked about the LGBTQ+, I meant, would you date someone that's big, pan, trans, non-binary, etc.? The younger part of the question was about those who are 18+. Once again, sorry for how the question was worded. P.S. Well, do we want to answer that first and then answer the second
Yeah,
part?
so I was curious about what her first, but now I actually remember answering this one. It was just like, would you date someone who's younger than you and also like, yeah. And so we made jokes about younger than. We're like, yeah, but like to a point.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. But yeah, so I think all of us pretty much said the same thing of just like, yeah, it doesn't bother me as long as I like them and they like me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then she added a PS that says, "Can I be your friend in real life? I live in Virginia and I am currently looking for new adult role models to help advise me on this journey called adulthood. So what do you say? Yay or nay?"
Wait, do you watch the podcast for adult advice? Because if so, I'm so sorry.
You're welcome. I give great advice. You should never take it, but I give great advice.
Do mountains of cocaine and
run across the English Channel, but only if you believe you can.
Yeah. Also, I always yay friendships. I will recognize that, like, I am about 5,000 miles away from you, but I'm always like, I always say that, like, if you're part of my community, you're in the youth group and we hang out. Like this is like, it's friendship. That's what we do here. Like, it's just.
Also, yeah, we know who you are, Victoria. So
I'm gonna
you're
say
a
no.
friend.
I'm gonna say no. You have enough friends. 2? That's a perfect amount.
He doesn't want to overload you, and it's also bad.
Yeah, we think we're friends with Ben, and like we do podcasts with Ben, and we still question it sometimes. We're like,
Ben
And I'm never-
Does he
Ben
think
slept
we're
on my
friends?
couch, and I think he just views me as a kind of nice acquaintance. Like that.
I think you guys feel about me the same way you feel about cats, where it's just like he exists here because he allows me to take care of him. And I'm fine with that. I'm happy. Okay, so
That's good. That's what matters.
all right. Reagan says, "Hey guys, it's Reagan. First off, I love the show. I listen to it to go to sleep, and it makes me laugh out loud. Those two things are not equal." But going on. Okay, so for my first question, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
Butt peanuts. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. I always flip things, and in my head, that was the funniest gut reaction. Butt peanuts.
I mean, that's a really good alternate version of deer poop. Oh, there's peanuts all over the
Space. Well, crushed nuts isn't much better.
No.
A peanut smoothie.
No.
Peanut spread.
Just
peanut
say
jam?
nut butter.
Nut butter.
Nut butter already exists.
Well, then it can't be that because it already exists.
Peanut butter.
Nut.
So I mean, it's literally creamy spread of peanuts.
Yeah, I go with peanut spread.
Peanut
'cause
spread.
I think
It'd be
I think
like
it's actually
peanut
just better.
cream, probably, because they had
Peanut cream. Yeah.
Peanut cream.
Pea cream. Cream nuts. Nut
it's
cream.
not butter to me. Spread. Anyway, well, that was horrific.
Yep, one of those is our final answer.
From Loretta K. Hey, everybody. Love your show and everything you do. I have a question that may be hard to answer. I hope Dan can help me understand what I'm missing. Got you, Dan. My best friend of 23 years just told me he is moving out of town to live with his boyfriend who has cheated on him and such several times. Wow.
Ooh.
Hey, I think we're all going to be able to help with this one. I've tried to talk him out of it, but he said he just doesn't understand how hard it is for a pansexual man living in Utah. As a bisexual woman raised in the LDS faith, I understand it's very hard, but I still don't think that he should lower himself to be abused in that way. Yeah, these are two separate things going on that are not the same, and he's equating them, and that's wrong. No, you're right. So, in my opinion, the bad relationship is a bad relationship no matter your orientation. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Correct. Am I wrong? No, you're not. I know the choice is his, but I love him, and I'm afraid of what he's getting into. P.S. Ryan, thanks for all your history talks. They've been such conversations. Oh my gosh. Since I lost my husband, I want to let you know that I'm so sorry, and we love you a whole bunch. And I'm so sorry for your loss. Also, I bet you pronounced my name wrong. Everyone does. Loretta?
It's Loretta.
Loretta? Oh.
Loretta.
Not that I
Loretta.
actually know, but I said that very confidently. I bet it's
You did.
Loretta.
Every time Ben says something, I believe him immediately, and that's not a good sign.
It means I'm doing my job right. Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys disagree with anything that I just said about that? Like that those are two separate things, and that like
No.
yeah, bad relationships.
No.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I agree entirely. I do think, I don't know. I agree with him in saying like living in Utah or living in this environment can be a little bit hostile. So I understand the moving part, but the moving in with an abusive boyfriend part is nothing to do with it, and that shouldn't be a part of that whole.
Yeah.
Right.
That shouldn't be his excuse to get out of Utah. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go live with this person that hurts me.
Some
That's
advice
bad.
that I got as a young comedian from an older road dog: you can be poor anywhere.
There you go.
So if you need to get the hell out of Dodge, get the hell out of Dodge, man. But that doesn't mean hitch a ride with your boyfriend that abuses you.
Yeah, man. Get out of that relationship and still leave Utah. Like you can do both.
You can do.
Just you can go to like literally anywhere. No one's stopping you.
Yeah. Look, it might not be comfortable, but moving is possible.
Yes, you can move anywhere.
If you ever feel comfortable, it's because you haven't done anything in a while.
Ooh.
I hate feeling
That's
comfortable.
the cult of Brainard coming through.
There it is.
If you believe you can, you can.
Move. Cool. Kristen R said, "Hey guys, I love that you are comedians, but also give good advice. So my question is, what is your favorite dad joke?" The follow-up question to that should tell you everything about the podcast. My dad's favorite is everyone likes everyone likes roses on their patio, but I'd rather tulips on my organ. Piano. Sorry, I can't see, guys. Again, I really enjoy your podcast. And Ben, Aristocats was my favorite movie as a young kid.
Damn, we're getting you glasses. That's the next podcast.
It's only with computer screens. I can read perfectly fine on everything.
Oh, thank God you're not a digital comedian. That would have been ridiculous.
Favorite dad joke? You guys have
normally just say them in the moment.
I don't know if
it's
I
just
have
like,
one.
I
have my favorite. I could do a silly street joke.
One.
Oh, okay.
My favorite is what did knock knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
The Nazis.
No one's home.
No, it's normally who's there, and
Nazis
you them and you go, "We will be asking some questions."
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if that's a dad joke or a bad joke, but it's definitely one of them.
Joke.
It's a bad dad joke. It makes because it just I don't know. It makes me laugh. I guess it just has to be Germans, but it feels wrong to equate them all. And I don't think.
What did the ocean say to the beach?
What?
Nothing. It just waved.
Nothing. It just waved.
I love this.
Which
This
bear is the most condescending?
Wait, don't tell me. The most condescending bear. An overbear. Frickin' frack, man. I don't know.
Bear?
Tell me.
A panda.
People are shocked by how bad my skills are as an electrician.
What does a vegetarian zombie eat?
Hail. No. Grains. What's a pirate favorite?
I simultaneously hate
Yeah,
that
thought
jokes,
it'd
but
be
I
the.
love-
This is the greatest dad joke I've ever heard in my life, and it's only because of the context that it was in, but it's also pretty solid. I heard this joke in basic training. This was like week 6. We were in the middle of the shit. It was awful. And at like, I don't know, probably 10 p.m., which doesn't sound that late, but it was bedtime. It was right after lights off. Lights went off. Our drill sergeant was the one that had to stay on CQ, and he had just left our room. And people are still creaking in beds trying to settle down. And one guy on the opposite side of the bay of me yelled, "What's a pirate's favorite letter?" And we all giggled because it was just silly to hear it like that time in that place. And the guy next to me on every burger yells out, "Arr!" And we laughed. It was the funniest thing. And then just like as soon as people stopped laughing, I mean, the greatest timing I've ever heard in my life. As soon as people stopped laughing, the bed started creaking again. It was quiet. The first guy yells out, "Ha! You thought it'd be the R, but it's actually the C." When I tell you we lost our minds, people fell out of their bunks laughing so hard. And the drill sergeant burst back into the room and was like, "What the hell's so funny?" And like we tried to stop laughing as soon as the door opened, but it was not happening. So we're just chuckling, we're snorting, and he's like, "What the hell is so funny?" And as soon as he said that, we lost it again, and he just went, "Yeah, I am pretty funny." And then I went back into his office, and we were like, "What just happened?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, I am pretty funny.
Yeah,
Legendary.
it was great.
Oh gosh.
Is it okay from Anonymous next?
Yeah.
Also, Aristocats, great movie. Watch it. Okay, from
Fantastic
Anonymous.
film.
For everyone, if you could tell a future significant other one thing about yourself, what would you want them to know?
I hope I am going to tell my future significant other things about me. Like,
Now that you've brought it up, I hope I'm not going to tell them anything. Figure it out, bud.
like do I get to tell them now? Like I say I know who my wife is going to be.
Yeah,
Then
I think so.
in that
It's
case,
just a significant other. Yeah.
I'm going to tell her my name, and I hope she starts looking.
Oh.
And I'll start looking too. Yeah, like I would tell her my name. I'd say, which is unfortunate because there's like 100,000 Ryan Kellys in the world, so she's gonna go through a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get real specific. No, I'm just gonna say Youth Pastor Ryan. That's gonna be easy.
There you go.
That's
Wow.
definitely she's definitely not gonna date me.
Should have thought about that first.
Yeah. Well, because I'm the only Ryan Kelly that's hopefully Youth Pastor Ryan. I hope. I honestly, odds are low. Odds are very low. Damn
Yeah,
you.
I tell
believe
them
that.
about my phobia of ice. Just don't crack ice around me. That's it.
Okay.
I'd like
Yep.
to think about
Yeah,
Dan
sure.
right now.
Let's
Yep.
see. If I could tell a future significant other one thing about yourself, what would you want them to know? I would choose something that I don't even know about myself.
Like,
I don't know. That's the thing. I can tell them anything about myself. I want to tell them something that I don't even know about myself, and therefore we both now know.
I feel like that would have to happen while you're together, though.
Yeah, that's fine. As soon as I find them, future significant other, any future significant other, I could
Well,
just start
you-
dating someone right now and then be
Yeah.
like, because of the magic of this question, I can tell you one thing about myself, and I choose for it to be a thing that I don't know. And then I open my mouth, and here comes a secret about me that I don't even know. Maybe it's like a future about like my future. and it's boop. Here's one thing that's going to be about me. Like I puked.
I snorted a mountain of cocaine and ran across the English Channel.
Yeah, if you believe it, you can.
I'm just gonna keep referencing that joke.
I don't know. I am an open book, but yeah, I think if we're going by the magic of question asking, absolutely just something that I don't even know.
Nice.
Cool.
From Tony Z. Hello. My question is, would each of you like custom-made flower crowns? Let me start with yes.
Do you see what's in the background right now?
Those be flower crowns.
I live for them. Yes.
I make flower crowns for people I love in my life. Oh, you love us? It's a way for me to fight off the big sads. We get it. That's why we talk to people. The content that the three of you, I spoke for all of us, and I probably shouldn't have. Sorry about that. The content that the three of you makes brings me joy. I would love to make something unique for each of you. I love purples. I like the color purple a lot when it comes to flowers. I just do.
Just be like think of the most gay thing and then make a crown.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah. I guess there's a way to do red and black, like a flannel flower crown. Oh my gosh! I want there to be a zoom cut. It's that face at my talk.
You're very straight, Ryan. Alex G. If you know about any Greek mythology, what is your favorite story and Greek god or goddess?
I like Hermes. I just like the idea of a mailman that's just really good at his job and got winged shoes.
He's also very mischievous, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know any stories just off the top of my head that are just like, yeah, I really liked reading about that. But I liked the Percy Jackson books. If that, yeah, so I don't know.
Those count now.
Yeah, those are canon.
Those are canon.
I feel like every Greek mythology story has some sort of weird, like effed up vibe to it down the line. But if we're just going off of like the general vibe, yeah, is Athena a Greek god? Athena?
Yes.
Okay.
Athena is the goddess of wisdom and intelligence, I think.
Yep. Cool. Athena.
Or is that Artemis?
Because I want to just have the name Athena. That would be super cool.
No, Artemis is the goddess of the hunt.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, no.
So Athena is
Athena's war.
Wisdom, yeah. No, Ares is war.
Ares is war? Wait, then who's the female god of war? Because there's definitely
the female god of war.
I think it might be no, Artemis is the hunt at the very least. It could also be war. I don't know that because of Artemis.
Yeah, she's god of war. Athena, goddess of war, handicraft, and practical.
That's right. Yeah, no, because they always pray to Athena whenever they're about to go to war.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes, Athena, real queen.
Sorry, I have nothing off the dome. Nothing up there. This next question is from Kelly. I have one question for each of you. Ryan, did you ever take anyone's advice on your TikTok video asking women how they'd like guys to slip into their DMs?
No, it was straight up. It was just a lot of women slipping into my DMs, which was very sweet. But like, it was one of those things where I was like, this doesn't. There was one girl who somehow, the one that totally did it for me. She sent me pictures of NASA, and she was like, "Hey, there's account stealing your pictures." And I go, "Wait, it's NASA? No, it's not." She goes, "It's because you're a star." And I was like, "Oh, so cute! It was so sweet. It was adorable."
We love that.
And I was like, but I've never slid into anyone's DMs. I can't do it. I don't know. It's just not.
It just doesn't seem like a viable option, right? It just feels like weird to be like, hey, especially as someone with a little bit of influence, it feels weird to be like,
Christelia.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. It has those vibes to it. So it's
feels
just like
abuse of power kind of thing.
Yeah, like, yeah.
The power dynamics are not equal footing. Next question, Dan. Have you decided if you're going to move to Seattle?
No, I'm not moving to Seattle anymore.
Dan, as someone who's known a lot of people that lived in Seattle, you made the right choice.
Dan, as somebody who's
Christelia and just talk about how he's back on TikTok.
Yeah, I keep seeing his videos and I look at his comments just to see how many people are like, "Bro, why are you around?"
And no one does it. Or he's like moderating the comments, which is weird.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Ben, have you
Marco
rocked your
Crispin,
Nads shirt yet? I have not yet, but I have plans.
Nads shirt? What is
I've got questions.
The Rhode
and I'm
Island
terrified.
School of Design. All of their sports teams are ball somehow. So like their basketball team is called the Balls, their hockey team is called the Nads, their fencing team is called the Pricks, like so on and so forth. And somebody sent me a Rhode Island School of Design hockey team shirt, and it just says "Go Nads" with a hockey stick on it and then 2 hockey pucks where the balls would be.
I love it.
And I have not worn it
so
yet,
much.
but yeah, I have plans. Don't worry.
We gotta see it. I love that.
And then the last question from episode 13.
Oh. I just watched episode 11. And I wanted to correct Ben on what he said about how to calculate for what the youngest someone can date. It should be your age divided by 2 plus 7, not the other way around. So if Ben's 25, the age for him would be 19 and a half, not 16. But he was right about it being from a sitcom. I definitely know this because it's from Parks and Rec. Also, love all 3 of you on the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, Liv A.
Right, yeah, thank you. It's divide by 2, then plus 7. Got it. Got it.
Got it.
I do feel that way, like more naturally, to be honest with you. Anytime I see anyone who's like under 21, I'm always like, You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just
A child.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we're talking about power
A
dynamics.
child.
It's just like, bro, the life experience, the lack of it, rather.
All right, moving on to the questions that we did not get to answer on episode 14. Kick us off, Dan.
Fox M says, "How did you all meet?"
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah.
I think I met Dan first, and I remember commenting on something, and then we just became mutuals. And then you had me in a couple, like I think it had been in 2 or 3 group videos. It was awesome. Yeah. I just remember thinking it was so cool. I was like, yeah, I get to play with Dan. And then Ben, we met later, but again, virtually through TikTok. Yeah.
When was the
No
first
idea
time
how
that
it happened.
when was the first time that you interacted with each other? Like you talked
I have no
to each
idea.
other? I think the first time I ever talked was a group. Remember we were doing like a game of
That was me.
Yeah.
The Discord games.
the Discord, yeah, the Discord games. And
I
we
think
all
that's how
played.
we all met.
Yeah,
It's because I started
we were
it
all
and I
together.
had a couple friends and I was like, let me reach out to these other creators to see if anybody wants to play games.
and that was the first time I went, and then we all talked about how we did stand-up comedy, and we're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, we should figure out what to do with that.
And then I woke
And now
up
we
at
have a
3 a.m.
podcast.
one day and said, the good, the Dan, the Florida man.
Sweating.
But yeah, that's it.
I love it.
Becca R says, love the podcast. Help me start off a 50 to 55 hour work week right, or it just helps me get through my 4-mile runs. Awful. Hate both of that. Anyway, I was
by both of them.
I was hoping for some advice. I'm going to be super general now, and once I get your advice, I'll tell you the whole backstory to ending to it. I need to know if I should play it safe and keep on going on the same path I am now, or if I should take a risk that I am hoping to take at some point. I'm just not sure if the timing will ever be just right. So I'm going to pause there really quick and say, yes, do it. I don't care what it is, do it.
I'm actually gonna support Ben in this one for Team Chaos. I'm gonna say do it, and the reason why is because you will never die with your inbox empty. It will never be perfectly right. Go, like, take the chance.
Yeah, if you're feeling unsure about something, it's very clearly more fear-based than anything else. Usually you'll have a good, like, sorry if I'm doing this weirdly, but I go off of the vibe of something, right? If the vibe is right, it's right. You can't just like fight it back though, right? And so at the end of the day, you have to feel out the vibe, and if it feels kind of unsure or it feels good, I say go for it, no matter
Well,
what.
especially if you're planning to do it eventually, don't wait.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
there's
Okay.
the thing. That's what
Yeah.
sold me. Is if you plan on doing it eventually, then go. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now. Who cares if you fail? People fail everything every day. Just do it. You said, should I? And I said, yes. I don't even care about the rest of the sentence. Do it. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out right, you still have a fun story and you can talk about it with other people for the rest of your life. Do it.
That's how we all got into comedy.
Like a Westboro Baptist Church style live stream, you know, like how he just gets on stream and just like says nonsense. You should do the same. Like you should just. That's how your cult should start. Is just you for an hour being like, and they just talk about everything.
And now you have to do it. You sit there and you say you're going to, and you plan and you wait and you expect things to work out for you. No, you must make things work out for you.
We love it. We love it.
I love that.
That's all I have to say about that. There's a second part to this
Yeah,
question.
Question.
I also had a fun question for you all. Have you ever gone back and done a comedy show at your old college after you ended your time there, and would you do it now? Like I said, love the podcast, always brightens my day. I did not graduate college, but I did get contacted about doing a show there at one point. I don't remember what happened, but it didn't go through. But I would do it, absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely do it. I definitely go back to my college and do and do a show. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I do it. I do it under under specific contexts. But yes, yeah.
I guess Dan, that question is only different for you.
We'll see. Maybe one day. But yeah, cool. Elizabeth W. 1. If you happen to be a serial killer, what would be your weapon of choice? Don't know how to feel about that question.
I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't want to have an answer.
Just
to that
me.
one.
Got it.
Well, because like part of me is like, do I want a weapon or do I want it to be an improvised thing every time?
Smart.
You were going against a serial killer. What it would be your weapon of choice?
Nah, that's not it for me.
No.
No. This is
The mind. Are you kidding me? I'm going against a serial killer. I'm going to make him lose his mind. Because, like, a lot of times the serial killer pathology is just, like, being the smartest and most in control in the room. So if you can dissuade that in some way, shape, or form just by being, like, a calm, cool, collected person and having a persona that's like, I am better than you, I am stronger than you, I am smarter than you, and making them accept that as gospel, then it'll be more of, like, they want my respect now, and not so much they want to kill me.
I had someone try and break into my house once, and I got a pink baseball bat. Do you want to see it?
yes.
Yeah.
Also for me, I feel like a mix of like Ben mix it up constantly, but I love that so much. Also, I love Utah man beats intruder to death with flowery baseball bat.
When we asked him why he did it, he said, "I'm gay," and that was it.
No further context.
I go with multiple different types of poisons because you got to mix it up. Because if you're going to get away with it for a while, and then you'd want poisons because like you don't have to be there. You don't have to be there. It's nice.
I just die. I don't have a weapon of choice. I think I'm the type of person that would just lose the fight.
Oh, okay.
I
would make sure that they have to talk to their therapist about me, even if I do die. I am the person on their mind for the rest of. Oh, absolutely. I want a serial killer to be like, yeah, I've killed a bunch of people, and then I am the last person they've killed, but now they can't stop thinking about what I've done to their psyche. They're already broken psyche. I have destroyed it to a point where they actually have to think about it. That's all I want.
Wow. Power move. I'd like to do the Dexter thing, kill serial killers. Mostly because I'm just knocking out the competition. I could go to 1919 Germany when there's so many of them. Sorry, we're back to that.
Go kill the butchers.
Ryan's just, I want to be the very best.
Very best.
Germany's never seen.
They've seen a lot. That stuff crazy. Dan, we still got 2 more questions on that.
Though. I do love that.
And there's still 2 more questions.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What are your thoughts on villains?
They are the heroes of their own story, and history is written by the winners.
Yeah. You know what? I used to think that. I think that history is won by the victors at the time, but I think that it gets rewritten. We've seen revisionist history, and that's weird. And so it becomes the winner is not always the winner, which is so strange, and I kind of hate that. Yeah.
But also, villains are the heroes of their own story is the most important part. A well done hero, a villain, anyway.
Yeah.
If it's just like a psychopath, then it's a psychopath. But if it's like a well done villain, they are the heroes of their own story. It needs to be a thing where it's like, I can understand why they're doing this.
Absolutely. Yeah. You understand why they're getting there. Also, the last one is my favorite. If you're invisible, can you still see with your eyes closed? Yeah.
Well, are you invisible to yourself?
No. Yeah. I don't know.
It depends. It depends on the rules of the
Metaphorically,
invisibility.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it very much depends, but I
Because
love
like,
that question.
if we're talking Lord of the Rings, they can still see themselves when they're wearing the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a dimensional shift kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, that is. Yeah, they're just in a different dimension. Or is it like invisibility, like Violet from The Incredibles,
Violet.
where she
I
can't
thought
see
Violet.
herself? In which case, then yeah, I don't think closing your eyes would do anything.
That'd be really funny. Then in which case I'd never
But
open
it
my
wouldn't
eyes.
matter because nobody would know that your eyes are closed anyway.
It's true.
I mean,
for you.
Yeah. Ryan, that would be a good superpower for Ryan because he'd be invisible and would just like sprint through people. If
I can both see and listen.
on?
All
I feel
right, we got another question.
With a guy who's not clothed appropriately.
Madison and moving on. Hey guys, love the podcast. Makes me die of laughter every time I listen. I absolutely love it. I just got done listening to episode 12 when you guys talk about conspiracy theories, and I just want to know if you guys believe in the idea that Area 51 is no longer Area 51. Government told us about aliens and a whole bunch of dark secrets. Then the thing on the internet of raid Area 51. Do you think that they're using Area 51 as a decoy and keeping their most secret stuff at, say, Area 52 or 53? Can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts.
So I believe there's a bunch of stuff that the government has that nobody has access to. I have a security clearance. I can get that kind of information, but not even their deepest stuff. Like, I don't have the highest security clearance. So yes, there's absolutely stuff that they have that they're not telling people. There are bases that exist in places that you don't know about. That I don't know about, that any of us don't know about. I believe that stuff. So when you tell me that Area 51 is a thing where they're keeping their deepest, darkest secret stuff, no, they would not tell us that there's a base that even exists if that's where they're keeping their deepest, darkest secret stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Broom Lake, I think it is. Like it used to be, because it's a salt flat, and it's really just used majoritarily to just test cool planes. Like that's it. I also for a time had a security clearance where and it's one of those things where, yeah, Ben's right. Like there are places that you don't know about that, like
all of Montana.
Yeah, like there's the thing is like it's in a lot of places that you probably wouldn't expect.
Most of the Midwest is just empty, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should look up Zimbabwe aliens and watch that, because I actually know people who saw aliens. So there has to be secrets that have to be kept, I guess.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I think secrets are definitely being kept. I don't know if it's aliens. I mean,
it doesn't have to be aliens.
I hope it is.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool if they were.
I'm thinking like the biological like weapons and things like that they have stored away that we know about are crazy. You know what I mean? The ones that we know about are insane. Can you imagine the ones we don't?
There's some weird court case right now that's like going through with where Area 51 has to report to the government on what they are keeping secret, essentially.
There should always be an oversight committee. There isn't always, but there should always.
But they're doing it for like the first time in history. Is like, we want you guys to report on like what, because they've obviously
because they're declassifying all the alien stuff. That's why
they're declassifying it. So they actually were like, no, you need to give us all the information. You can't just keep like releasing small bits of information. We want everything. And so,
I don't know. It's kind of like a TV show. I kind of like the episode by episode. Yeah,
the new X-Files, but it's real.
See, it's wild. Like,
wonderful.
Moving on. Next question by JG. Hey guys, love your podcast. It really helps my work day go by. With that being said, what is your most embarrassing moment that have happened to you while at work? Mine happened a few weeks ago when someone asked me, when do you get off? And me completely forgetting where I was and who I was talking to, replied with, I don't know, it depends on how hard you work for it. I literally told this guy that I have talked to maybe 3 times that if he worked hard enough, he could get me off. I have since died inside every time I see him.
I love that so much.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
I said
that's fantastic. Thank you for telling us. But
I love that. So when I was Spider-Man at Disneyland, if people would say their names first, because I normally ask people what their names are, I would just reply, and I only had it happen once. But someone goes, "Hi, my name's like Stephanie," and I go, "Hi, my name's Ryan," and I was like, "No!"
Oh no!
And she did not let me live it down at all. In fact, she literally laughed and goes, "Bye, Ryan." I go, "Oh, thanks." I felt so dumb.
Most embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't think I have any especially at work. I've worked like 30 jobs. I usually just quit them.
I have one that's like embarrassing from a point of ignorance.
Sure.
Right. And this is genuinely a true story. So I worked at when I first moved to America, my first job was working at a call center for Nu Skin, which is like this like very big, cosmetics company.
Okay.
But it's multi-level marketing, and so they have to call in and sign up distributors and do all sorts of weird stuff, right? Fun fact: a large portion of their distributors happen to be Vietnamese. And I grew up in Zimbabwe. We didn't have really a lot of like influence in general from Asia. That kind of happened later on. So I didn't quite understand how to like pronounce names and all sorts of weird stuff. And my first phone call by myself after training
was with a win, but you said Nguyen.
No, it was PH. I can't remember the exact name, but it was swear words.
It was fuck.
It was PHUCDAT something. And I was like, is it? And I was like, how am I going to get around this? And I did say fuck and got corrected pretty solidly. And from that point on, I understood.
I mean, now
I actually like researched that night after the fact, like how to pronounce Vietnamese names, so that never happened again. Because I was just embarrassed.
Now that you're an adult, you know, like the better way to do that is like, hi, I'm Dan. I don't mean to mispronounce your name. How do I pronounce your last name?
Well, that's always what I did after the fact as well. At that point, because there was a lot of like interesting, I'm not even joking, there was a lot of like interesting names that came through the pipeline. Like there's Thai names. I don't know if you guys know this, but porn features like the word porn translated into English and Thai names features very frequently in Thai names. So there was like stuff like mega porn and like stuff like that. And so I was like always just like, could you confirm your name for me, please? Like, that's how I would get around it instead of being like, because they told us in training, you have to like tell them the name and tell them to verify the account. And I was like, I'm just going to let them verify their name and verify their account because I don't need to do that. So yeah, it was just, it was a weird time at Nu Skin. Anyway.
That was the end of the questions for episode 14. Moving on to episode 15. We're going to kick it off with Dan.
Yay! Kat says, hi, I have 2 questions. Since you're all stand-up comedians, who are your favorite stand-up comedians? Mine is Josh Johnson. And what are your sitcom recommendations? I just finished New Girl and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I absolutely loved, and I need more sitcoms and/or comedy shows to watch. But I also hate The Office and Parks and Rec. Love your podcast. It makes me laugh every week. Thanks.
Thank you. The Office is not funny. It's awkward. That's not a personality trait. Stop putting it in your bios. Sorry. I don't like it.
Sometimes the awkward comedy is funny to other people, Ryan, but you are an empath and you feel the awkward.
No, it's not. It's just, hey, look, these people's lives are just awkward. That's not comedy. That's not well written.
I mean,
it was funny the first 4 times. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of the point of The Office, of just being like, this is a normal thing, but it's supposed to be a documentary about people that work in a paper company. It's the most mundane possible thing.
Yes,
so the fact that literally anything intriguing happens there at all is the whole context, is the premise.
Are you guys Parks and Recs or like pick between the two?
Parks and Recs or Office? Parks and Recs over Office, but
Rec is funnier than The Office.
Yes, yeah.
But I think that The Office wasn't trying to be the funniest thing on the TV.
You guys are the first people that fully agree with me on that. That's weird. Sorry.
Parks and Rec was trying to be a funny, weird sitcom, whereas The Office is trying to be like a very like a mundane, normal, natural happenstance kind of thing.
Which I feel like Parks and Rec was trying to do with the first 2 seasons, and then they just became their own thing.
But also, The Office got a lot better after season 2 too.
It's very
because
true.
Steve Carell himself was like, this was awful. Like the first season and a half of The Office, Steve Carell hated, and then they started letting him help
because
write it.
They just copied the British Office
And
without any context.
it doesn't
and
translate.
In the British context, it's very funny, but to Americans, it's like what the
Because
heck?
it's so
They had to start changing it over to Americans. Yeah, that's very true. Favorite stand-up comedians. First of all, I love Josh Johnson. He's insanely
I don't know who that is.
Josh Johnson, you guys need to look him up. I think he's got a Comedy Central special coming out, but he writes for The Daily Show. He's hilarious. I love Josh.
I love Mike Birbiglia and Kathleen Madigan.
Okay.
I love both of them.
Ooh.
I like Mulaney, Birbiglia. I like older Segura. His new special is just kind of eh. Older Bill Burr is really good. James Acaster is phenomenal. Daniel Sloss is phenomenal.
Daniel Sloss. Oh my gosh.
Beth Stelling, obviously, we just had her on, is fantastic. I don't know. I like a lot of like. This special was really good. Not so much like this.
Agreed.
Like Patton Oswalt's Annihilation is fantastic, but Patton Oswalt as a stand-up is pretty hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like it's really weird to say, but I just grew up on Chappelle, Rock.
Yeah. Well, of
So
course,
good.
everyone did, you know?
Some of the legends, yeah.
Yeah.
Chappelle and Rock were like, yeah.
As far as sitcoms go,
I'd say Nate Bargatze features too.
Bargatze is really good. I like him.
I like him a lot.
Nate Bargatze is really great. Yeah, and then obviously
Aparna
Michelle. I love Michelle Wolf.
Yeah.
I love obviously Beth Stelling. I really
Sarah Silverman, fantastic.
Oh,
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Like
I just
Sarah
don't
Silverman?
like Sarah Silverman
We know why
at all.
you don't like Sarah
it's
Silverman.
The Office, so of course you're not gonna like.
I wasn't even gonna say it's because you hate women, Ryan. I was just gonna say it's because it's not happy, wholesome comedy.
No,
it's very far from
He's
it.
not happy, wholesome, and I honestly like Anthony Jeselnik, and I don't think, and he's not happy, wholesome. But it's just I don't know. I don't know. Something about her voice just makes me want to like just.
Then yeah, no, it's absolutely because you hate
pressure.
women.
The one
you said you wouldn't.
If it's not about the comedy, then it's about her.
No, it is definitely about the comedy. Yeah.
Also, I really like Nikki Glaser when she's roasting people.
Okay.
Like,
yeah,
incredible.
Absolutely.
When she's roasting people.
Sitcoms that I've liked. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt was really good. The Good Place was really good. Go back and watch. Like
The Good Place was fantastic.
You can go back and watch like the first 6 or 7 seasons of Malcolm in the Middle. Very solid. Raising Hope was really good. There's only like 2 seasons of Raising Hope. Yeah. Yo, dude, a show nobody has ever heard of, but I loved it, was called Deadbeat. And it's on Hulu now. And it's about a guy that lives in New York and he's just kind of a broke deadbeat, but he can talk to ghosts. So like his job is being a medium. And it's really funny, but only watch the first 2 seasons. The 3rd season is like a reboot that it just wasn't great.
I'm trying to think.
I like a show called Breakout Kings. It was great.
Breakout Kings.
It was a show about 3 convicted like felons that help the Marshal Service catch people that have like broken out of prison, and it's very funny. And it's got Jimmy Simpson, who's one of my favorite actors of all time, in there, and he just crushes it. And it's just good. It's just funny.
I like. Currently, what I really like, I mean, obviously Schitt's Creek features. Working Moms is a pretty great show. Rick and Morty, if it can be considered a sitcom, and Letterkenny.
Letterkenny's fantastic.
Yeah, Letterkenny's so good. We also got another question from Geeky Gal. Hello, I'm back. I have sort of a question. So I'm trying you guys Gorillaz style. Yes.
Nice.
And I was going to make it look like the Demon Days album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo.
And I was going to call it Podcast Days if you were wondering. But anyways, yes. Okay, sorry. There's 4 people there, and there are only 3 of you. I thought about adding John since he was your first guest, but then I thought about Ben Sketch and thought Greg, the sound guy. So you guys have a preference for someone I should add, or just some like original character that is just added to the podcast? I guess it could make it with 3 people, but I think it would look better with 4. What if it was just us 4, or like us? You could do a logo. You could do us 3 huddled around one singular computer, but from the back, so that it's just the light that's projecting off us, so it's like silhouettes. That might be cool. I don't know. Sound guy's hilarious. I think that's funny to just have someone with a boom.
The sound guy.
Yeah.
That's just a character I throw into my sketches sometimes whenever I need to answer a breaking the fourth wall question, and he has no idea what's going on. He's like, bro, I don't know. I just work here.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with Greg the Sound Guy if you want to throw that in there. But honestly, anything you could put a Pokemon in there, and it wouldn't bother me.
Wait, what if we all got our favorite Pokemons? What if it was Mudkip, Totodile, and Dan? Snorlax?
I do want to see that, but I really also just want to see me as a Gorilla's character, to be honest.
Well, no, you're already getting that. Like you're already getting that.
Yeah, but this would be the fourth character.
Oh, the fourth character. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. Yeah.
Is yours Snorlax?
To see Pokemon as Gorilla's characters would also be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What is yours Snorlax?
Is your favorite Pokemon Snorlax?
Me?
Yeah.
Or was it a water type?
No, my favorite Pokemon's Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur?
Oh, why did I think a water type? Why did I think?
I guess. Like water types, but yeah.
Okay, Bulbasaur. So yeah, Bulbasaur, Mudkip for alligator, just
Totodile.
teaming up. Totodile.
The little baby one.
A little baby, little snuggle.
So yeah,
all right,
that would be great. Thank you. Michael L says, I have 2 questions for you guys. What was your first job, like mowing yard, babysitting, etc., that you got paid for? I worked at Chick-fil-A. I mean, if we're not counting like chores, I sometimes would get paid to like mow other people's yards and stuff. But like, I worked at Chick-fil-A and I was the cow, but I wasn't tall enough to fit the regular cow, so I was the female kid cow. That was my first job was working at Chick-fil-A as the female kid cow.
Are we getting close over there? Because that's a story time. That's amazing. That's
I have a couple of fun stories about it, yeah.
I'm sure you do. Oh my gosh, that brings me such joy. I taught improv to kids for summer camps. I was a camp counselor.
No one's surprised.
Yeah, no one's shocked. Look at this face. This is the face of a camp counselor.
An improv teaching camp counselor.
Yes, and let's go get snacks. Like that's. Oh, does it hurt you, Ben? Imagine living it.
Love it. I watched Charlie's and worked at the back of a grocery store warehouse.
You watched what?
And I watched Charlie's.
Trolleys. I heard Charlie's.
I heard Charlie's too.
Shopping
carts.
Like shopping
okay.
Carts. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. As well, how do you handle non-woke family members? I have grown up in the biggest yee state, Oklahoma, and as a panda bear in the LGBTQ+, and have dated different races than me. Most of my family make jokes for non-white and non-straight jokes. The sad thing is my younger sister is picking up these jokes. So, first off, save your younger sister. The rest of the family can go in the garbage disposal, but save your younger sister, tell her why it's not okay and what's wrong with it. And if she understands it and learns with you, then that's good that you've saved it. But I've said it before, I'll say it again, your family is not the most important people in your lives, and the people that tell you that they are lying to you. Your friends are the most important people in your life. If your family don't accept you and make jokes about who you are, then cut them off. I have hung up on my father before mid-sentence because he was saying some stuff that I didn't like and he knew it, so I just hung up on him. I've moved out of my house. I've told both of my parents off. Like your family has so little to do with your life that it's insane. The only reason they're important is because like they're the ones that birthed you. But other than that, like if they don't accept you and they're not loving you, then who cares who they are? They can go jump off a cliff. Give them an ultimatum. Be like, hey, this makes me uncomfortable that you don't accept me for who I am. These jokes aren't funny. If they were funny, then they'd be funny, but they're the only part that's funny about them is that they're offensive, and that's not what a joke is. You either stop doing that, accept me for who I am, or I'm leaving. You don't get a son anymore.
Yeah. I'd also say that that's kind of where my comedic roots came from, was just starting to, like, initially I was not very brave, I'll be honest with you, but in figuring out a way to communicate how I felt about particular situations or what people were saying about other people or groups of people, I was able to cultivate like funny ways of being able to combat what the ideas were, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that also by being brave and saying the brave thing, you immediately combat against the weird stupidity that can be, I don't know, racism or whatever bigotry you want to talk about, right? Like combating it starts with you saying the thing and then finding ways to communicate that more efficiently, right? But it immediately starts with you just standing up for what's right and being like, hey, this is stupid. So
I think that you have to be like, hey, these jokes are not for me. don't tell them around me. Like that's the thing. Because here's the thing, like
just don't tell them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not
even
gonna be able to
around
control
me.
people's...
Like, yeah, but like, tell them to not. Don't give them that out of like, oh, we can say it behind their back, because to me, I always target the fact that it's not actually a funny joke. Like, you can make jokes about it, but that's just not a good joke.
Well, and here's what the reason why I'm hesitant on this is because I don't know what these jokes are, and I will say this: what I've learned is that I'm hoping to God, and I could be wrong, that like the premise or the punchline isn't being gay. Like there is premise, and people do not understand how to separate premise from joke or from punchline, and that's become a problem. And so I'm hoping that the jokes are fine. It might be something that you're sensitive to, but it sounds like if it's exceptionally yee, then the punchline is being gay, and that's not the punchline of any of the joke. So because for instance, like when I'm hanging out with like one of my best friends who is gay, we tell a lot of jokes that involve being gay, but it's not the punchline.
I mean, that's
you know what I mean?
Podcast, basically.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Well, it's one of those things where, so that's why I'm always nervous when I see jokes and quotes, because I get really nervous about comedy that I don't know what I'm like. I don't know the jokes. You know what I mean? Because for instance, comedians constantly talk about the fact that it's just like, what is it? The fact that people will then read their jokes out of context, and that's always startling. And so that's where I get nervous with this. But I also think that stand up for what you believe in, and that matters. And you should feel comfortable. And regardless of if the jokes are mundane or not, you should still feel comfortable, and you should still say, "Hey, not me." Not like you don't do it around me.
And definitely educate your sister and make sure she's not,
especially if she's young and she doesn't know any better.
And make sure it's jokes, and it's not like, "Oh, we really believe this." The funny thing is, because we believe it. Like, whoa, that's not what. Daniel Sloss makes a really good point about the fact that like when we are saying things, we don't believe it. I could say that I could say that I want my little brothers to pick up smoking because they might start beating me at a race. I clearly don't believe that. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it funny, is because it's a ridiculous thing. Anyway, that's my,
We have a lot to say about jokes, but a lot to say about comfort and standing up for yourself.
There you go. Alex L says, so I was listening to episode 13 and would like to bring up a previous question and state Ben would be Dr. Doom. Question: who's the best Batman TV movie or animated? Who's the best Batman TV movie or animated? Sorry.
That's a good question.
The animated Batmans are forever the best Batmans.
Yeah, I really do like the animated ones.
Batman Beyond, fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know who. I think Nolan North did it.
I couldn't name who it is, but
I will say this: the best animated Green Lantern is Nathan Fillion for sure. He's so good. He's perfect, and it's at the Flashpoint. It's great.
I feel like it's really hard to mess up Batman. I don't think I've ever seen a piece of content that involves Batman that I've been like disappointed by.
Not even Ben Affleck.
Yeah. It depends on the context of it all. I kind of liked him as like an interesting old aggressive Batman. Like I still enjoyed the movies. Like
the directing and writing was terrible, or the editing.
Yeah, I didn't think that the story overall was great, but I still enjoyed Batman as the
Batman. Okay.
Yeah,
Man, Snyder Cut was fun though.
Cool.
Yeah, Snyder Cut was
fire. We got a question from Caitlin B. Caitlin B says, "Hey guys, first I want to say I love this podcast. It's actually the only podcast that my boyfriend will listen to with me." Hold on. Well, I'm honored that he likes us, but are you guys okay? I also love all three of you separately as comedians and TikTokers. Now my question is, would the three of y'all participate in my wedding? Ryan is the officiant, Dan is the flower man. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And Ben is how objects is
the one who objects for no reason.
Yes. For the moment, it's only a hypothetical. I'm not even engaged, but I discussed it with my boyfriend and he's okay with it. If y'all agree, doing well. If y'all agree with, I will do everything in my power to schedule the wedding when it's best for all three of you and start saving money to pay for your travel and board. Thank you all for making me laugh hysterically no matter how bad my day is, and I look forward to potentially hearing back from y'all. Caitlin B, that sounds so fire.
I would be honored to disrupt your wedding. However, I do want to put a stipulation. Just because we agreed to do this does not mean, like, don't let this be the reason you get married, please.
Yeah, please don't like make it like, oh, the podcast is coming.
Let this be a bonus. That's not. Don't force a thing that
watch
isn't.
At least 2 podcasts together before we start. You know.
That is all the questions for episode 15. Moving on to our last episode of the month of June, episode 16. Kicking it off with Ryan.
Hey guys, I just found out your podcast. I watch Ben since the beginning of quarantine and watch Ryan sometimes on TikTok. That was weirdly hard. He's fine. I'm from Deland, close to Daytona Beach.
DeLand.
I will be moving. Oh, DeLand. I will be moving. Hey, are you in Deceit? No, I'm in DeLand.
We also have DeBerry. And we have
That's
Indy
ridiculous.
Atlantic.
I'm moving to Lakeland for the college in fall. I was listening to episode 70. You said there was a Burger King in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
My first question was, who staffs the Burger King? That's a great question. If the Army used this place, then who's choosing to live there? Love your podcast and love the story time.
So, yeah, if it's on base, it was on Fort Irwin, which is technically not the desert. But the Burger King was on base, but since it is a third-party thing, it is staffed by civilians that just have, a special pass to get on base to go to work. The people that choose to live there are generally... Well, nobody chooses to live at Fort Irwin. They are supposed to be living there because that's part of their contract in the Army. And the other people that live there are like wives and husbands and children of the soldiers. But nobody chooses to live at Fort Irwin. As far as moving from DeLand to Lakeland, my guy, my girl, Ashley, please, please, please go somewhere else after college. Don't go back to DeLand. Don't stay in Lakeland. Please go anywhere else. You need to experience a city just for a little bit. DeLand is just forest and empty lots, and Lakeland ain't much better. It's also in Polk County, which I suggest staying out of, but my best friend did go to Florida Southern. That it's either you're going to Florida Southern or South Florida. Both of those are in Lakeland. But Florida Southern has a citrus major, so please make friends with a citrus major if that is where you are going. There's only like 6 citrus majors.
I love that. What'd you major with? Citrus?
Yeah. I think it's the only school in the country that has a citrus major program, but there were only like 7 kids that were taking it.
I love that.
Okay.
Is it growing?
No.
No, it's just like general, not. Just to know everything about citrus.
Citrus.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah, so this question is from Alaska, the Final Frontier. Hey, Ben, for Alaskan accent, you'll be able to find any accent. It all depends on where you are from originally or where your parents were from and the people you grew up around. Sometimes I find myself saying crayfish 2 different ways. My mom is from the Midwest and my dad was born in the South, but raised in both Alaska and North Carolina. Also, I need more Alaska content, as Alaska is commonly overlooked. Also, Alaska doesn't require a concealed carry license, and we haven't for a long time. LMAO. Yeah, Alaska's a weird place. I have another sketch coming out with Alaska pretty soon where I talk about the weird laws. Most of them are involving moose. But yeah, Alaska's a weird place, and I love it. It's very interesting. So there is more Alaska content coming. Just stay tuned.
I love that place. Awesome.
It's nice.
I served my mission close to Alaska. Well, that's just part of my mission. Zoe S says, watching episode 14, and I'm sorry, but as an Australian, a cassowary will win every time. I forgot about this argument. Yep. There is no question. Cassowary wins. On another note, loving the podcast. You guys are amazing and have me in stitches all the time. Wish you could come to Australia soon.
Right.
I wish we could.
I guess we've got the update belief system on a cassowary. As we've
Let's
been
go to
informed.
Australia, guys.
I do want to go to Australia. Hey, should we do the Melbourne Comedy Festival?
For Australia.
I'll go get a passport.
As the podcast?
I'll go get a passport.
Comedy Festival would be
tomorrow.
wild.
Let's apply to it, dude. Yeah, I'm down.
That'd be so good. We got another question from MES. Hi, Ryan, Dan, and Ben. I recently discovered your podcast. I'm currently on episode 9 while writing this. Ryan and Ben, I've been following you guys for about a year now, and both showed up on my For You page when I had TikTok. Social media is very toxic, so I had to delete most of my accounts, and now I'm pretty much dependent on YouTube. I literally, in my phone, there's a little section, and it's in a grouping called Toxic Apps, and that's where all my social media is. I'm aware. Yeah, it's I'm a political science international studies major. Hey! And I love all the political jokes throughout your content. Makes me laugh, which brightens and puts a smile on my face every day. Dan, I had no idea who you were before I found this podcast, but I'm happy I did. I just wanted to say that I love the podcast and all your content y'all are making that I can see on YouTube. And it makes my long days work much more interesting. Please never end this podcast. I don't know what I would do without it. Sending hugs to all of you. All right. None of us can die.
All right.
Yep.
If I believe it, It will be.
Yeah.
So happy
Thanks
we
so
can
much.
help.
That's so sweet.
This one is from Wendy W. Hey guys, first of all, thank you so much for this podcast. I usually listen to true crime podcasts. This is a welcome break, so I need a little bit of advice. I recently moved into a new house by myself, and I'm starting a new job soon. My anxiety has been flaring up due to the silence and nerves, so I've put on your podcast to help fill the silence and calm me down. So my question is, do you three have anything you reach for to calm your anxiety? Movies, music, TV shows, etc. I'd really appreciate the suggestions. Thanks again. This one is for you guys, as I do not get anxiety.
I talked about it during my cult
you for that.
thing question that I answered, but mine's Bob's Burgers, hands down, every single time. Bob's Burgers really calms me down at the end of the night, so I love it. Ryan?
I don't think I have a healthy answer to this, but I lay on my floor.
Okay.
Like I just straight up, like, I don't know why, but it's like the most solid part
cool.
of
No, it's grounding.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's very grounding. And so, like, for instance, when I was like nervous for a show I was doing recently, and I had the pillars for the set, but since I improvised most of my sets through, but I needed to write this one out, and so I literally just laid on my floor and for like an hour and a half just wrote on my phone. Because so I looks like an insane person, but it was very fun. Yeah, I think it's nice. The floors are great. And also, if you got too cold to floors, get a heater.
Things that I do to help my friends who have anxiety is I force them to talk it out. Literally calling a friend and just talking about what you're anxious about helps you feel less anxious, because you start to realize that, like, very really the things that you're anxious about aren't as big a deal as you thought they were when they were just trapped in your head. So getting those ideas and those anxieties out of your body might actually help you realize that they're not as anxiety inducing as you may seem. Another thing
Absolutely,
is just
it's super
doing the
important.
work, but I know that's a piece of advice that only I can take as a person who doesn't get anxiety.
Yeah.
Cool. Molly M says, I love your podcast, makes me laugh and just feel better. Suggestion that I thought of that might be funny. I am most definitely not a funny person. You are, Molly. You three doing an improv bit where one of the others gives you a profession and you talk like you are doing that profession without changing who you are at all. Again, love your stuff and wish you all the best.
We could definitely do that at some point.
I'm sorry, I zoned out when you were reading that, so I'm gonna have to read this again in my head really quick while you guys talk about it.
That is an improv game. I do think we should play it during an actual like not just a community answer one, because I think that'd just be fun. Yeah, that's
we should do it at the live show.
Okay,
I mean, done to be fair, I have not done improv for like 3 years.
Oh, now you guys can't handle the heat. No.
I'm
sure
fine.
I'll do fine, but yeah,
you guys are.
I did do improv for a while, and I still kind of like play the game sometimes. So yeah,
absolutely. You never really lose it.
Minnesota, Morris, Minnesota. You guys are getting this.
I mean, we can end the show with a dumb improv game. We can do whatever we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's our
we have an hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 25, 15 minutes of just pure improv. We actually probably should Q&A after that. They'll probably have. Yeah. Sarah C's got a question for us. Hi, Ben, Dan, and Ryan. Ryan, thank you so much for being so open about your essential tremors. No problem. Shake it out. It's fun. It sucks. My coworkers finally learned to stop reading the paper I'm holding. I love that everybody's got an essential tremor thing that we like figured out what we can't do. Like, for instance, I needed to go in to get it checked when I started shaking my headphones so much that my dad was like, "What's going on there, Chief?" And also, it made it harder to play video games because I was shaking so much that I can hear it moving on my ears, so I couldn't hear footsteps when I'm trying to shoot. It was ridiculous. I was watching episode 11, and Ryan mentions majoring in something useful rather than what you would enjoy. So I majored in biology, and for funsies, also Scandinavian studies. The skills and interests I learned with Scandinavian studies actually led me to my past 2 jobs. Nice! Oh, and I also started college intending to be an engineering in engineering physics. Wow. Have you guys gone on solo vacations or solo non-work trips? I'm on a vacation by myself and was asked 5 times by 2 people in 10 minutes if my husband was joining me. If I left him at home, if it was a girls' trip, if my husband was joining later. Do you guys have these questions while traveling alone? Thanks so much. I mean, we aren't married. So for me, it makes I love traveling. I love doing things by myself. I think it's so nice. But also, like, I don't know, honestly, it sounds like you got to go on an adventure and maybe your husband's just enjoying being at home and a little like a little time by himself.
You're vacationing in the wrong places is my answer to that.
So I think the No, what she's trying to say is like, as a woman, these are generally the answers. These are generally the questions that people have when they meet a woman on vacation.
Yeah,
A woman
okay.
by herself
Like,
on
she's
vacation.
not
Oh,
getting
so
this
yeah,
personally. Okay.
people just
okay.
don't like assume like this is a woman on vacation alone, because like that's just
I think they'd assume not many people go on vacations alone. Also, it's
that's
put
also
to
true.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, but
I
have
don't get
received,
asked
like,
that a lot.
I have received like condescending, like, by yourself today, like that type of stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
That
okay.
stuff doesn't faze me. I would just return with the happiest yes, and just a smile, and then they would feel bad for being condescending towards me.
oh.
Every time it's just like, yeah, I
But-
am. And you know what? Beautiful.
A lot of times, like, I'll pick a place that I want to travel to for whatever reason, and then I'll just book a show around it.
Yeah, there's the thing, is I've definitely done like adventure things by myself. While every time I go to like tour like with comedy shows, I'm just like, adventure time, and then we do fun adventures by myself. Yeah.
And last question of this episode from Daniel. One, are Brainard and Ryan aware of the sheer quantity of Mormon-themed stories from the Beehive Grill to Seagull Books? Stores? What is... I don't even know what that is.
There's actual stores that are based around the Mormon religion. So, and there's tons of them, like everywhere in Utah.
Okay, well then no. Completely, yeah, not aware at all.
Wish I did. Now I do.
And two, what is your favorite Mormon-themed name for one of these said stores?
Oh.
Yeah, Dan, this has to be you, because I have no
Yeah,
idea
this
what
has
they
to
are.
be you, because I don't really know. I don't know. The only ones that are coming to mind are the like major ones, which is Deseret Book, which, fun fact, that was what they wanted to call they wanted to make their own country. Mormons wanted to make their own country, and they called this area Deseret, and it was going to be called Deseret Nation.
Okay.
And it was going to encompass Utah all the way to California, which is why they sent a whole bunch of Mormons into the West to just go and inhabit everything on the West Coast. So yeah,
Missouri was hunting them. There was a couple things going on there.
That's more of just like a fun fact. I don't know any fun, silly names of like the stores here. There's like Deseret Book, Seagull Book, Beehive Grill, which I don't know about, but they just theme a lot of stuff out here based off of like weird stuff. So
okay. Well, next time I come to visit for the first time Utah, then maybe we'll compile a list and just go look at the dumbest ones.
You guys can come and buy a Book of Mormon with me.
Yay!
This is your conversion process.
Dan's been playing the long game.
You started with, there's your conversion process.
Oh man, well that is it. That is all of the questions that we were asked this past month, in the month of June, that we did not get to during the regularly scheduled episodes. I hope we answered all of your questions and we didn't miss a single one. And if you liked the questions, let us know that you liked our answer or that you hated our answer. You probably hated my answers. I don't give great advice. I just give advice. With that being said, thank you so much. We will see you next month.
Love you guys.